Welcome to another exciting edition to Grove City Hockey Presents
Hockey in our neck of the woods, and you, sir, were a very talked about person towards the end.
I'm a fifth-year senior, kind of. Well, it's my sixth year of college. Incredible.
Hey guys, we want to say thank you to our sponsor, Cut Shield, for bringing you this episode. Make sure you check them out on the link below and use the promo code for 25% off your order. Used by all 32 NHL teams and players, Cut Shield is the premier protective player clothing designed by players for players. Their innovative cut-resistant clothing has prevented serious injury to numerous players, including over 30 NHL players. Cut Shield gives you the peace of mind to go out and play without worrying about injury. Use our promo code Grove City Hockey, all lowercase and no space, for an additional 25% off your order today. Welcome to GCH Podcast. I'm your host, Ben W. Stock, and with me is a very special guest. I've got Sean Hagan from Hagan Hockey. Sean, how you doing, bud?
Good. How are you, Ben?
Oh, living the dream, bud. Living the dream. We got, I think we're 11 days away from the birth of my second child. And,
wow, congratulations.
Yeah, so she's super miserable right now. Super cranky. My son, he 3.5, but he's doing phenomenal. He's really excited. We had our first baby shower yesterday, and then we did some maternity and family photos yesterday as well. So those turned out really, really good. So we're pretty stoked to have Benin join us. It's her first child, my second. But man, she's floating on cloud nine, but she's also scared.
Oh, I imagine.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy your time while you have it. I have 3 kids, and they're getting older, so every night we're either at the lacrosse field, deck hockey, ice hockey, activities never end. So enjoy your adult man time while you can.
And it's going to be getting less and less and less. I can tell you that much right now. But we're here to talk about Hagan Hockey. You sent us some pretty cool gear. I got a pair of gloves, and you sent us a sample of your kits or your jerseys and your pants. Those are pretty sick, man. Like, I wish I would have had that stuff when I was playing. So tell us a little bit about Hagan Hockey and how you got involved with Hagan Hockey, or how you started it up. Let's see.
We started about 7 years ago, and I was active. We started with deck hockey, which some people refer to it as ball hockey, some people refer to it as street hockey. And I got bit by the deck hockey bug early on. I loved the sport. Started playing out in the streets, game on, game off, and then we graduated to tennis courts. We had our own league. We kept stats. And then there was an old abandoned court we played 5-on-5 on, which was great. It was like Field of Dreams every Saturday. People would plow the woods. People would ride up on bicycles, vans full of teenagers. And then we found out there was actual organized leagues in the local area. And we were just like, we were on cloud nine. We're like, oh, my gosh, this is the greatest thing ever. So we started playing those house leagues. We lived at the rink. Like, we couldn't get enough of it. We would play every day of the week if we could. And then a couple guys spotted me and my buddy, and, they played in tournaments. We're like, whoa, we were just shocked that there was organized leagues. We didn't know there was tournaments out in Philly, and, guys were going off to Worlds and everything else. So, we identified that we loved the sport, but then we identified that there was kind of like a lack of equipment for the sport. Mm-hmm. So we started developing, shin guards and gloves that were specialized for deck hockey, street hockey, ball hockey. And that's where we started early on. And then we kind of graduated to other niche sports that were neglected, like broomball. Mm-hmm. And we got into some ice hockey. We got into some inline. We got into some field hockey. And it just kind of snowballed from there.
Man, that's awesome. So now with deck hockey, ball hockey, street hockey, I was actually trying to get an interview set up with the National Ball Hockey League. I sent them a message, like an email, last week, I think, because I just come across their Instagram post. Yeah. And
okay.
Man, I didn't even realize. Yeah. The
NBHL,
National Ball Hockey League, I think is what it is.
Oh yeah, National Ball Hockey League. They're organizing leagues throughout the United States, which is great. Then there's USA Ball Hockey, and then the Deck Federation are also organizing, hockey on a very grand scale here in the United States, and they're sending teams to the World Juniors and everything else. So it's a great time to be playing ball hockey. When I was a kid, we were playing in the streets and everything else. My son's 10. He's already had 5 years travel under his belt. He's already played,
awesome.
nationals in Jersey and Leominster and everything else. So it's just a really exciting sport, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so we tried to set up an interview just like the week prior to nationals. How did you guys end up doing?
Yeah, we didn't do too hot. So our team was a first-year Beaver team. So the age groups, 10 to 12. So all of our kids were on the younger spectrum of everything. The year before, they did really well because they were last year Penguin, which is 7 to 9. So the majority of them were 9-year-olds. We took a team up to Leominster for their national tournament. We won that one. This year, not so much. I think we fizzled out. We may have made it first round of the playoffs.
Okay. Well, each year, you move up. It's going to be a, different experience for the kids. Hopefully they don't get too frustrated with it and they decide to stick with it and come back and because next year is going to be different. You're going to lose some of those older players and you got a year's worth of experience under your belt and you're just going to come out and you're going to play better than you thought. So.
Oh, yeah. And that year or two makes a big difference in ball hockey. Is however old you are January 1st. So January 1st, you might be 12, but if you turn 13, the difference between a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old is a big difference. They're hitting puberty. And some of those kids are my size, and, my kids can, run through their legs, it's a big size difference. So it's one of those age groups that they're, age is a big factor for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, because like you said, I mean, they can be, 4'1" at 10, and then you have a 13-year-old that's 6'2". So it's such a vast growth difference in those 3 years.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah. So now you are an official sponsor for USA Hockey in the ball hockey or the deck hockey or broom ball.
So yeah, through our 2 and 10, our uniforms, we do a lot of the uniforms for USA Ball Hockey.
Okay.
We're the official umpire and referee providers for field hockey, and we sponsor a lot of different events, and we organize a lot of different events for ball hockey. Our main goal is to always just grow the game. Yeah. I think back to when I was a kid, I didn't know there was all these travel leagues. I didn't know there was all this options for travel ball hockey and deck hockey, and just as many kids into it as we can, and introducing them to the sport and letting them know that there's a lot for them to do in the local area.
Yeah, I know it would have been really cool when I was because I played ball hockey at like a recreational center in my hometown after I moved back from Illinois, and I was just playing with a bunch of high school buddies that I played with back in high school, and we just had so much fun. I'll never forget the one time where we were playing the Eager Beavers, and
great name.
they were like a rivalry. It was like they were one of the top teams, we were one of the top teams, and I'll never forget we were tied with seconds to go, and my buddy Bob shoots the ball down, bounces off the goalie. We were surprised because Ken, the goalie at that time, was just phenomenal. And he let it bounce off his chest, came right to my stick. And I was able to just do like one little quick move and boom, it was right there. And it was like, I think it was for the playoffs too. So that was like a fun ESPN type moment because there was a couple of guys that are on the fire department that were talking about it. They were like doing the da-na-na, da-na-na, so it was pretty cool. Like it's a pretty cool experience.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Man, so now do you get a chance to do international tournaments? Because I know deck hockey is huge overseas as well, was along with like quad hockey that most people don't even know about either.
Yeah, so I haven't done any of the international ones. The furthest I went to the broom ball worlds in Ontario this past year, which I don't know if you know anything about broom ball, but it's another niche sport where you're playing on an ice rink, but we have these specialized shoes. So it feels like you're running on, almost like a deck surface. And It's a really fun, unique sport that's mainly in like that Minnesota, Montreal, but they're starting to be bigger leagues, Pittsburgh and Boston, everywhere else, and that's very similar and growing. I know the World Juniors, they just came back from deck hockey. They were, or the ball hockey, and they were playing over in the Czech. So, yeah, it's definitely a growing sport and a lot of international competition growing from it.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where you just wish that you can, when you're playing, especially when you're younger, you're just like, man, I just want to get out there and just play against everybody I can, and then not knowing about it. So hopefully we can help those individuals that may not know that, hey, there's some deck hockey going on in your neck of the woods. Why don't you check it out? Step up and have some fun, because it's all about having fun with the game of hockey, no matter what version you're playing, whether it be roller, ice, quad hockey, broom ball. It's all basically the same concept. You're just putting the puck or ball in the back of the net. So,
yeah, and Pittsburgh's really unique in that they're growing, and we're having second and third generation players. It's becoming very popular. It's rivaling some local sports like baseball that was always kind of like a heralded sport in football. I know the local rink, I think they had 400 players just register for their in-house league, and that's one of the many rinks in Pittsburgh. Wow. Which is a huge population. Like there's a lot of players that enjoy playing, and there's a lot of people like me and my dad played every Sunday, and then all of a sudden I'm playing, then my son's playing, and it's just turned into a generational thing.
Yeah, which is great to see because once you have that ability, then the game is just going to keep growing and expanding, and then that's going to create more opportunities for you guys, or for anybody. So it's really cool to see that expanding and growing like that.
Yeah, it's one of those unique sports too. We're seeing a lot of older players. Like my dad played until he was 56. Mm-hmm. There's some players. I do a morning pickup Wednesday and Thursday. We play at like 7 a.m. because people get busy like myself. Mm-hmm. Our kids are in evening activities, so we play like 7 to 8 a.m. on Wednesday and Thursday mornings. And there's a lot of 50 and over players. You don't see that so much with football or lacrosse or anything like that.
Right.
It's a sport guys can play and kind of continue into their later years and have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. That's awesome. So now, so what plans do you guys have for expanding Hagan hockey, not only with the sport of deck hockey, but ball hockey, broom ball, all that stuff? Because I see you guys got your hands in a lot of pots there. I think lacrosse was on there too.
Yeah. Both my daughters are really good lacrosse goalies. My son plays out in that; he's a big time goal scorer. But my oldest daughter was on the all Pittsburgh team, and she was she's a freshman at Penn Trafford. She plays goalie. My youngest daughter plays in middle school. My son's in the 10U program. They also, my other daughter plays field hockey. And the big thing with our company is we always hire and kind of utilize former athletes with experience in the sports. Mm-hmm. So with field hockey, we got Shan Taylor, that was a former Olympian with field hockey that knows the sport. Because we want people that are hands-on and know the sport inside and out. And then for years been saying, oh, we need this or we need that, so we can specialize everything to what athletes want right now. So, like I said, those neglected sports are more like niche sports that bigger brands might not put a lot of effort into. We want to maximize our efforts and really tailor our gear to some of those higher level players in those neglected sports.
Absolutely, because it's one of the things. Like, hey, if those bigger companies are not willing to put in the effort to support those niche sports and niche players, they're the ones missing out. So that's just easy money if you think about it.
Yeah, and we've tried to make it easier for not only our consumers but our retailers. So things like shin guard. There's a lot of variations. There's a lot of colors. The shin guards in ball hockey are exposed, so the colors are a little more trendy than you might see in ice hockey. But we made the size adjustable. That way you can carry a few different shins, but if they're adjustable in size, you only have to carry 3 sizes. So that limits your variations. I know with gloves, a lot of travel players like ice hockey, inline, deck hockey. Like my son's on 2 or 3 ice teams. He's on 2 or 3 deck teams. So we've made a black and a white glove with interchanging cuffs for colors because, who can afford 3 or 4 different gloves to have at all times? So You can make sure you're matching your team wear and stuff. So we've tried to really put ourselves in the player shoes and the retailer shoes to simplify things as much as we can.
This is one of the gloves
there's one right there.
This is one that you had sent us, and man, I put this on and I was like, man, it fits like a glove. I mean, it really does. Like, I wish I would have had this while playing. It's lightweight, it's solid material, it's hand quality, man. I'm telling you, like, this is probably one of the best gloves I've put on in a long time.
Yep, and it's great. It's another one of those ones with the interchanging cuffs. So you could put on your blue and gold for Penn Trafford. You could put on your black and silver for Badgers. And
so now I see, because I'm like, I this was the first time I saw anything that popped off like that when I got it. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. And then now I just see that there's the Velcro. So it does pop off. You can change it. You can make it, customize it a little bit.
Yeah. What was really funny is we started doing that for ball hockey, and we figured kids would just get whatever their travel team color is. But within like 3 months, we're like, these kids are collecting like Pokemon cards. They want a different color because their house league team and this team and that team. They have a whole bag just full of different colored cuffs. They just might have a favorite color. It doesn't have to be your travel team. Just some kids are playing in house league and just want a pink or a green or an orange cuff, So that makes it much easier, and we don't have to carry 900 SKUs and variations,
Yeah, no, I had to hide this stuff from my son because otherwise he'd be wearing it. And then come time for the interview, I would have been like, where did it go?
Right. Well, now it's over. You can get him to test it out for us.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But yeah, now let's talk a little bit about your jerseys, because, man, this jersey is pretty sick too. With the material that you guys use.
It's a nice lightweight Tritech mesh material. So that one we utilize
super light. Yeah, this is pretty much I don't know how well we're going to be able to get it with the black background.
It's getting blocked out a little bit.
But man, I like it.
Yeah, like our equipment, we tried to specialize all of our sizing charts for those specific sports. So that one you have in your hand, we specifically designed every template that we cut out and sew together to inline or to broom ball or to deck hockey. Because when we started playing travel deck hockey, people would just get hacked off hockey sleeves, and who wants to wear a giant heavy sweater in the middle of a 90-degree hockey game? So everything's tailored to the specific sport, and it's based on what equipment you're wearing. Because inline guys aren't wearing the full chest protector and the big stuff the ice hockey guys are. Right. Same with broom ball, deck. They're wearing almost nothing, so our stuff's contoured and tailored. So everything's designed for that specific sport and that specific sizing chart.
Yeah. Now, are you guys thinking about incorporating any kind of padding for those that don't normally wear like the chest protector stuff? I know Inline has a couple of like super like form fitting like chest protectors, because that's what I had when I was playing. You had like the ab protection, a couple of for the in the back to help with the cross checks that would happen when you were standing in front of the net. I think Mission might have made them back in the day, and it was kind of like those suits that you would see, like the superhero suits, with the built-in ab type situation. So I think that might be something you might think about too, if they need it. I don't know if they definitely need it.
We've partnered with Mixed Sports. Michael Mixit from Mixed Sports has been working on expanding our ice hockey and inline catalogs, and that's one of the things at the top of our list: the padded girdles, the padded shirts, stuff that's tailored, especially for inline hockey to get that rolling. We'd be looking at that for next spring, getting a full, protective clothing line specific to that sport for sure.
Nice. And then you're definitely going to try to get a hold of Dave up there at Cut Shield for your cut resistant material, right?
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, my son really wants some Cut Shield socks, so if he supplies socks, we'll put them in business.
They're phenomenal. They're super light. I mean, I've never seen anything that thin that is put together like what Dave's got going there at Cut Shield. It's by far one of the best products I've ever seen.
Well, yeah, if he does socks and compression leggings, we'll put him in business. I know my son goes through a lot of those through a season, so
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I'll check them out.
Yeah, there's also, if you go to their website, Grove City Hockey, just like for Hagan Hockey. For those of you, there is what you said, what 20% off? I can't remember. Was it 10%?
20% off. Yep. If
20%
you do
off.
Grove, yeah, 20% off Grove City Hockey, capital G, capital C, capital H, and spaces in between.
Boom, perfect.
Yep. Special 20% off.
Yeah,
now,
check it out.
Tell me this, Grove City Hockey. So is that Grove City, PA?
Yeah, that's Grove City Hockey. It's Grove City, Pennsylvania.
Okay. Because I was just saying, I noticed when I say that gear, it was a Michigan address. So how'd you get involved with Grove City Hockey?
So I had retired from the sport in like 2015. Injuries took its toll. I'd played Major League Roller Hockey, got hurt. Took a trip to Africa, coached over there for a year, came back, finally had to have surgery on my back I saw a post on their Facebook looking for guys to help out with their broadcasting, and one thing led to another. Here I am. So
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I used to do, I put in a couple of teams in Major League Roller Hockey, AIHL, and all sorts of stuff throughout the Midwest. I played in MyHa for a number of years, and it was just one of those things where it's just like, you know what, it's time to finally give back. I had just gotten out of my marriage, and I was raising my son full time, and he was starting to get to that age where I could start bringing him to the rink with me if I needed to. And the rest is kind of history. I just like, all right, let me give this a shot. And then I think my first tournament was 2 years ago, or 2 seasons ago. So it would have been like February of last year or the year before that. Yeah, or something like that. And started dating my fiance like a week before I was doing my first tournament to broadcast, and just absolutely love it. And then now they're just like, hey man, we should do a podcast. So here I am doing the pod.
That's funny. Yeah. So when I was a freshman in college, I went to Clarion.
Okay.
And there was no deck hockey anywhere around. I picked a dorm that was outside an outdoor deck, which was awesome. But it was concrete, and we just played pickup every once in a while. But I believe it was every Sunday night, I had a buddy that played in the Grove City League, and he would drive me down. That was back when it was at the Born to Run facility. Yeah, and I believe that's the rink and facility. I think that facility closed. That's the rink and surface you guys have now that you're using
at the Y. Yep. That's the YMCA ended up with. I think they bought the rink and boards and all that stuff, and then now the boys from Grove City, you got Jake and you got Sean. You met Sean at the Let's Play Hockey Expo with me.
Oh, he was with you. Okay, excellent.
Yep. And so like it's one thing led to another, and now they're up and running. They're the Y down there, and then their MyHa team, their T3 team took first place overall in the I think it was the B in their B division. So that was pretty cool. So that's awesome. That was their first year, and then now they're getting ready to go back at it for round number 2 this year.
Oh, that's great. They got a good league population down there?
Yeah. I can't tell you the number of teams in the Pittsburgh area, but when they do their travel hockey, you're looking at about 40 teams right now.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so like we'll cover broadcasts all the way from New York all the way to Chicago. I think if there's even a tournament that might be happening in Wisconsin this year. And then they'll go to Fort Wayne, they'll go to Indianapolis, they'll go to Detroit. Columbus, I think, is another one. Cincinnati, not Columbus, because I don't think Columbus has a rink right now. But since he's got a beautiful setup going on now, that the Cincinnati, what's their ECHL team? For some reason I'm thinking the Flames, but I don't think that's right. But they're the pro team that they have in the area bought out the rink and is now making some changes to help them out. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's impressive. Yeah, the talent of teams that come to some of those tournaments. I know my son, a couple of his buddies were recruited for a Inferno team. I believe it was Narch.
Yeah.
in March. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
That
and
was
that's where's that out of Mount Pleasant, right?
Mount Pleasant. Yep, it was at
Yeah.
Hot Shots in Mount Pleasant.
Yeah.
And they were all excited because they're ice hockey studs. They're like, "Oh man, let's get down there and rock the house!" And oh my gosh, man, they were on their heels the whole game. Those kids were really, really good. And it's a definitely adjustment going from ice hockey to inline, but they had a lot of fun. It was still a great weekend. We had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, that was the Hot Shots is a beautiful facility. It's a 2 rink facility. I remember the one year that I played down there. We had a whole bunch of guys from Wisconsin, a couple guys from Michigan. I think Carl, the league director for MyHa, he was playing with us that weekend, and we had we had like 5 skaters, and 1
Oh
goalie.
wow!
And we were 2 teams. We were the minor and pro team, and so we had to play 4 games like back to back to back to back. And our goalie Alex Townsend stood on his head for as much as he could, but we just had no legs as each game went on. But it was so much fun, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
I don't blame me. I've been there. I know sometimes with those travel tournaments, like, oh yeah, sign me up for the adult team, sign me up for co-head. If I'm traveling out there, I will play as much as I can. And after like the 3rd straight game, you're like, oh my gosh, maybe I should have just stuck with the home team. It's rough.
It happens. Yeah,
It's nice having those 2 rink facilities. We have so many 1 rink facilities with some of these travel deck tournaments. The 2 rinks nice, and then hang out for the day. Like sometimes you can get 2 or 3 games in a day, hang out, put up a tent, cook some food. It's nice, be able to keep everything in one facility instead of jumping all over Pittsburgh or Philly or wherever you're at. Where it's nice to just be in the same spot for a weekend.
Yeah, and I think they do like a travel youth hockey league too. I think there's like 3 rinks involved in that. Mount Pleasant is one of them, the Y, and then I think there's one other one, and I can't. I mean, I have access to like the company emails, so I kind of can see like a little bit, from time to time.
Right.
But I don't go looking for it. I only just stick with my emails for the pod. So
yeah, I bet it's Murraysville. They have a Shockwave team that's pretty good. I bet they're the 3rd one. It's probably gonna be indoor if it's involved in that circuit there. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was pretty cool. Like, and I love being down that way. Everybody was really cool. Some people say that they can, that some of the individuals can be a little stuck up, but I never saw that. So, but it was pretty cool.
That's
so
awesome.
now, yeah. So what? So let me ask you this: what brought you into hockey to begin with?
Well, like I said, we started playing street hockey. We graduated to a tennis court.
No, not like that. I mean, like what was your fondest memory of like, oh, hey, like this is what I want to do? Like when you what drew you to the sport of hockey?
Yeah, as far as like a company standpoint.
No, just from a personal standpoint.
Oh, for me, it was that first time I played with my buddies, and we just had that camaraderie, and it was just something fun. My dad tried to push baseball on me when I was younger, and I was that kid that I needed those sports with that hustle in it. Like I'd be standing in the outfield, kicking my feet or drawing my name in the infield and stuff like that. And I was just it wasn't really my cup of tea, and he really wanted me to do sports. And then the first time I got on a hockey rink, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is for me. I just wanted to run around a million miles per hour and make plays and do all that kind of fun stuff. So that's kind of what did for me. It was just the type of gameplay, I guess,
Okay, cool. And then, so what is your favorite memory or moment playing hockey?
Oh, it's tough. I had a lot of great tournament teams I traveled with.
Mm-hmm.
But as I do coaching, just watching these kids develop and gain skills and have those success tiers where they just get more and more into it. And, at first, all the kids are hesitant, especially when they're at chipmunk age, you're kind of forcing them on the rink. Hey, just give it a try. And then there's a point where they're spending their whole day in the basement shooting around. They want to get better. And just seeing that spark in the kids is what does it for me. Seeing them gain that same bug I got when I got hooked to it and then just carrying on with it. That's what does it for me for sure.
Oh, I would definitely agree with you. It was a blast watching those kids over in Africa. They people may think that they don't really have a whole lot to do, but they have a lot more than most people realize. I think their junior women's just took second in the World Skate Euro Championships, I guess it was, and
Oh,
then
really?
their senior women's took third. I think they only lost to Spain, and
And
a
that was
couple of the
inline?
girls. Yeah, yeah, that was in
Wow.
line. And then the oh man, what was it? Their under 17 team took fifth, and their I think it was their junior men's team took fifth as well. So I mean, it's really cool to see like, hey, this team from Africa, only has like 500, maybe 550 members total in the whole country. Are now taking second, third. I mean, they took the women's junior team took first in the world skate games this past year too. So to have them come in second place in the Euro Cup is pretty cool.
That's awesome. Especially places without ice. Are you seeing an uptick in like inline where there's like hotter climates? Like, is there any like
Mm-hmm.
South American leagues or anything like that?
Yeah. So, and there's a couple in Brazil that
Okay.
I know of. Colombia has a couple as well. They're doing really good. Argentina does as well. And then of course, you got the Czech Republic, you got Italy, you got France, you got Spain. Um, there's a couple. There might be a couple in Germany. Maybe one, but they're not as well known. Um, Finland has a really good program as well. Last I knew. So I mean, it's just like this the sport of inline hockey and just in the sport of hockey in general is just exploding all over the world. Like the Chinese Taipei team that dominated in the World Juniors for inline. Uh, Same thing, World Skate Cup, um, World Skate Games. Sorry, and like I think like 2 or 3 years ago, they were just getting shellacked by everybody, and now they're the ones doing the shellacking. So it's pretty cool to see that those countries turn it around and really make it Team USA work for it.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's great to see the game grow, but to grow on a global level. Awesome, you know.
Yeah, and it's really cool to see that, and I hope to see it continue to grow. Just like I hope to see the ball hockey and the deck hockey and the broom ball. Like you said, you got your hands in just about everything hockey, which is really cool because there's not many companies. I don't think you can say CCM is doing that, or Mission, or um, you know, or Bauer, or True Hockey. They're not making the effort to get into those niche sports, and so it's really cool to see that you're able to just chalk it up as a win for you guys.
Yeah. And again, we're vested in it. So, we want to see the game grow. So, it's just not a financial thing. It's the fact that, we've played it our whole lives. My son's third generation. We just want to see the game continue to grow and continue.
Well, and that's the Grove City motto too, is growing the game of hockey. So, and that's what our motto, to do is with this pod is just to get exposure. Somebody's going to see this and be like, "Hey, I'd like to try that. Where can I go to find out more information?" And we'll try to direct them in the right way.
Yeah. And we can grow symbiotically. I know there's a lot of players that are hesitant to get on skates. They try ball hockey, and the next thing you know, they put some skates on. They gravitate towards inline. The next thing you know, they're nice. So, it's great. It's great to grow the game on all levels, and all three sports definitely, have a combined effort in growing the game overall for sure.
Absolutely. All right, man. Well, I think we are just about out of time. I want to say thank you, Sean, for taking the time to jump on the podcast with me. Um, do you have anything else you want to add, brother?
No, that's it. Hey, thanks for your time. Thanks for the invite. I appreciate it. If you ever
Yeah,
had some, episodes in the future, let me know. I'm willing
we'll
to come
do.
back.
Yeah, yeah. We'll definitely get you back on to talk to more about all of the things hockey going on with your company and stuff like that. So
Yeah, if you want my partner, he's the goalie guru, and he has a big ice and inline background. So, yeah, if you want him in the future, let me know. I'll line Mike up for you.
perfect. I would appreciate that. Send me his info and we'll get him on the pod.
All right, perfect. Awesome. Thank you.
All
I
right,
appreciate
brother.
it.
Take care.